Yo, it's your boy Jay Best, and welcome back to the Straight to the Point podcast, season 2, episode 30. On today's episode, I will be discussing the NBA playoff slash play-in tournament. All right, that's what majority of this episode is going to be about. Probably 20, 25 minutes, won't be too long. And then I'm going to end this episode with a little segment about Caitlyn Clark going number one overall today to the Indiana Fever. And I want to talk about how her WNBA career should look compared to her college career. But as always, before I get started, I want to thank God for waking me up this morning, allowing me to talk about sports, which is something that I love to do. Without Him, I would not be here right now, right? So let's go ahead and let's get straight to the point. Just a little warning. There's a little storm going on outside, so if it starts raining or if it starts to be a little thunder outside, then you just heads up because it might happen. Hopefully, it holds over until the end of this episode. All right, but let's go ahead and talk about the play-in tournament, y'all. It is that time of the year. It is time to get your popcorn out. It is time to watch real basketball. When I say real basketball, the NBA is such a long season. It's an 82 game season from October to April. It's so long that you can literally flip the switch halfway through the season and still make the playoffs. That's just how long the season is, all right? Versus the NFL, you only get 18 weeks to get it together and get into the playoffs. It's so much harder for me, in my opinion, to get in the playoffs in the NFL than the NBA. But we're finally at that time of the year where teams are starting to play for real. Over the past couple of weeks, you've seen it because they got to win some games to get in. They got to make sure they don't lose at this, that, another, right? So now we are at that time of the year where it's literally win or go home to a degree. All right. Let's go ahead and talk about the play-in tournament and how that looks right now. So tomorrow night is the first set of play-in games. We're going to have the Lakers and the Pelicans, the 7th and 8th seed, and then the Kings and the Warriors, 9th and 10th. Then on Wednesday, you're going to have the Bulls and the Hawks, 9 and 10 seed, and then the 76ers and Miami 7 and 8 seed. So for those of y'all that still kind of don't understand the play-in tournament, it used to be seeds 1 through 8. That's what it was. The top 8 in both conferences made the playoffs. Then 1 played 8, 2 played 7, 3 played 6, 4 played 5. That's how it used to be. But last year, they inserted the play-in tournament. I believe the last 2 years, they inserted the play-in tournament. And then, so basically it's going to be 1 through 6 is done. They're off right now. Right now they're waiting till this weekend to start the playoffs. But 7 through 10 is having a little tournament to determine who's going to be the 7th seed, who's going to be the 8th seed. So as of right now, for the Lakers and the Pelicans, and then the 76ers and Miami, those are 7 and 8 seeds. Those games are going to happen, and the winner of those games is going to become the 7th seed. All right, so whoever wins between the Pelicans and the Lakers will go against the Nuggets. And whoever wins for the 76ers and the Heat will go against the Knicks, all right, automatically. You have the 9th and the 10th seed with the Kings and the Warriors and the Bulls and the Hawks. Whoever loses that game, they're done. Season is over with. So that's a win and go home already for those 4 teams. But whoever wins that game for the 9 and 10 seeds will play the loser of the 7 and 8 seeds. All right, and they will fight for the 8th seed. If that makes sense. All right. So we're gonna have 4 games in the next 2 days, and that will determine who's the 7th seed and who's the 8th seed. And the real playoffs will start this weekend. All right. So that's what the play-in tournament is. I honestly think it's not a bad idea. I think it just increases the competition just a little bit, and it kind of expands the playoffs, right? Because I think NBA fans love the playoffs because that's the most exciting time of the year. That's the most competitive time of the year. So why not make a play-in tournament to extend that competitiveness for the fans? I think it's good for the fans. I think it's good for the basketball world. And I think it's going to be an exciting next 2 days. All right. So that is what the play-in bracket looks like as of right now. All right, but now I'm going to go ahead and break down each matchup and who I think should win, who I want to win, et cetera, et cetera. The first matchup tomorrow night on TNT is going to be the Lakers and the Pelicans. The Lakers and the Pelicans just played yesterday, actually, to end the season. The Pelicans had to win to get the 6th seed. The Lakers had to win to keep the 8 to get the 8th seed. So it was implications in that game, but the Lakers stomped the Pelicans. All right, this is why, once again, throughout the year, I don't like to talk about the NBA so much because for me, if I was to talk about the NBA every single episode from October to now, I would tell you the Lakers are going to make a playoff run. The Lakers are going to get in the playoffs. They're going to make a run. I would tell you that every single day, and y'all think that I'm crazy. I would tell you that the Warriors are probably going to make a little playoff run because at this time of the year, we're about to separate the boys from the men. That's what's about to happen. Do y'all remember last year, whenever the Grizzlies and it was one more team, the Grizzlies and the Kings. The Grizzlies and the Kings came into the playoffs. They was a young team, one led by John Morant, one led by De'Aaron Fox. They was young and exciting. Everybody loved to watch these two teams because of how young they were, athletic they were. And what happened in the first round? One team played the Lakers, one team played the Warriors. Right? Y'all played the OGs and y'all both went home in round one. All right. So I believe that this year, once again, we're about to start separating the boys from the men. Like, for example, the Lakers and the Pelicans, I believe 100% the Lakers can win this game. Like, no debate. I feel like whoever picks the Pelicans is crazy because even the season series between these two teams, you saw the Lakers insert their dominance. The Lakers are up on this team 3-1 in the season. So they played each other 4 times. The Lakers have won 3 times and lost once. But here's the catch. All right. I think the Lakers can win 100%. Actually, I know they will win. But do they want to win? Think about it. Do they want to win this game and go against the Nuggets in round one? Do they want to? I don't know. Honestly, I think Darvin Ham is in the Lakers organization is in a pickle right now because if you say, look, I'm gonna lose this game so we can avoid the Nuggets, right? Let's play the Nuggets in the conference championship. I don't want to play the Nuggets right now. And you go against the Warriors in the next game to get the AC, you might catch Steph on a hot night. You might catch Klay Thompson on a hot night. You might catch the Warriors just raining threes. Last time the Lakers played the Warriors, the Warriors made like 27 threes or something like that. So do you want to take that chance? I do believe the Lakers can beat the Warriors at any given night. I believe that. And I will put my money on the Lakers to win that game. But if you catch Steph on the wrong night, it's very possible that he can bounce you and you can end up not making the playoffs at all. Or do you want to just beat the Pelicans and go to the playoffs and play the Nuggets first round? 9 times out of 10, if I had to pick, I would pick the Nuggets to win that series only because it's fresh in the playoffs. Like maybe in the Western Conference Finals, I think the Lakers have a better chance on beating them then than now. And some of y'all gonna say, well, the Lakers will get they're more fresh now versus the way they will be in the Western Conference Finals. But you don't want the Nuggets to catch fire. Last year, the Nuggets was hot round one, round two, round three. It was easy. They walked through the Lakers. Maybe you want to catch them early. Maybe you want to catch them while they're trying to get into the rhythm of the playoffs. Maybe. I don't know, honestly. Like I'm sitting here, it's the first time I've been on this podcast, and I don't know the answer to something. I just don't know. So the Lakers, do you win against the Pelicans and play the Nuggets round one? Or do you take the L, kind of play lightly, take the L, and play the Warriors 9 times out of 10 and take a chance on catching Steph on a hot night? Because if this will play out perfectly, if they lose to the Pelicans, right, then they beat the Warriors. 'Cause I think the Warriors gonna beat the Kings. Then they'll play the Thunder in the first round. That's easily a 4-1 to me. It might even be a sweep. The Lakers own the Thunder this year. They don't have an answer for AD. They don't have an answer for LeBron. That will be an easy series. Do you want to go that route? But once again, you're taking that chance with Golden State because Golden State, when they hot, they can beat anybody. When Draymond Green made 5 threes the last time the Lakers played the Warriors, that can happen again, and you might just be out of there. You know what I'm saying? So the Lakers in a tough spot. Of course, I'm picking the Lakers to win this game, but if I'm Darvin Ham, if I'm LeBron, do I really want to play the Nuggets first round? I don't think so. I think I'd rather take a chance and hopefully they get bounced by somebody else. Or 9 times out of 10, I'm going to play them in the Western Conference Finals. And I'd much rather get to the Western Conference Finals than lose in the first round of the playoffs. All right. So I got the Lakers winning tomorrow night. But if they lose, then they clearly heard me and they're going to go the whole route of avoiding the Nuggets in round one. All right. I think that's a good idea. But then again, if Steph get hot, you're in trouble. So that's just how I feel about that. All right. The next game we're gonna talk about is the Warriors and the Kings, and the Warriors and the Kings. Remember last year they played each other in the first round, and everybody was saying like the beam, like the beam. The Aaron Fox, that was his coming out year. Him turning into that, him getting into that star conversation happened last year. That superstar conversation happened last year against the Warriors. But in Game 7, Steph Curry went crazy and sent the Kings home. Once again, time to separate the boys from the men. The Warriors gonna win this game easily. The season series is tied though. But the last 3 games have been decided by 1 point, and the Kings are 2-1 in those games where it's decided by 1 point. But I don't care. Okay, sometimes what happens in the regular season doesn't entertain me because I know when it's the playoffs and it's Golden State and it's Steve Kerr and it's Steph Curry and it's Klay Thompson and it's Draymond Green, I'm not betting against them. Just like last year, everybody was saying like the beam. I said, hold it. This is the Warriors we're talking about. This is the former dynasty. They still have the core of that dynasty. Of course, they're missing a lot of players from those years, but they still have the big three, right? So with that, I can't sit here and I will never bet against the Warriors unless they play the Lakers, right? Who I think they're just outsized, and I think that the combination of AD and Bron just sits well with me and sits better with me than the trio of Draymond, Clay, and Steph, especially at this point in their careers. All right, but the Warriors against anybody they play, I cannot bet against Steph Curry. I just can't do it. All right. That year when he took the Warriors to the championship and they beat the Celtics a couple years ago, I believe it was the year before last. Yeah, I want to say it was the year before last. When they did that, Steph showed me he can carry a team. So I fully believe that he can carry this team and they can make a nice little run. But they're definitely going to win against the Kings. Unfortunately, they're going to run into the Lakers, and I want to see the Warriors in the playoffs and I want to see the Lakers in the playoffs, but it can't happen unless the Lakers win against the Pelicans, which I advise them not to do. So hopefully, so I think the Warriors gonna win this game against the Kings once again. It's just separating the boys from the men. To me, it's not a lot of analytics that I got. I don't have to say a lot of stats. I don't have to tell you the 3 point percentage and their defense. I don't have to do all that because it's Steph Curry versus De'Aaron Fox. Klay Thompson versus who the next best guy? Sabonis. Right, it's gonna be Draymond Green, and then whoever the next best guy is. Malik Monk also is not playing. Kevin Herter is also not playing. So I just gotta go with the Warriors in this one. I think that the experience, that championship pedigree that they have, is gonna help them get out of this. So this is basically a Game 7. All the matchups for the 9 and 10 seed is Game 7s, and who are you taking? The Warriors or the Kings? I gotta go with the Warriors. All right. On the next matchup, and this to me is my favorite matchup of the first round, the Heat and the 76ers. All right, the Heat and the 76ers. And one thing I can tell you, there's one thing I can guarantee you. There's a couple things actually I can guarantee you. Okay, I can guarantee you the sun will come up every day. I can guarantee you the moon will come up every night. I can guarantee, basically guarantee. All right. I can also guarantee you that the Heat, come playoff times, is one of the scariest teams in all of basketball, and they will make a run, meaning they will beat the 76ers. And I kind of talked about how the Lakers are trying to avoid the Nuggets. The Heat, no matter who they play after this, if they win this game or if they lose this game and win the next one, they're either going to play the Knicks or the Boston Celtics. Last year, the championship run, when they went to the championship, they beat the Knicks and they beat Boston. All right. So to me, the Heat is not ducking nobody. The Heat is not scared of anybody. The Heat will take whoever they end up going against in the first round. It does not matter. They're not scared. I trust Eric Spoelstra. I trust Pat Riley still has his hands on that organization. Alonzo Mourning has his hands on that organization. This is a scary team. We all know what happens around this time of year. Playoff Jimmy. Okay, I promise you that. Like I said, I guarantee you the sun coming out. I guarantee you the moon coming out at night. And I promise you, playoff Jimmy will appear around April. And it is April, and playoff Jimmy is coming out. But they're going against the 76ers, and the 76ers against the Heat this year are the series is tied 2-2. Sorry, y'all. I'm tripping. The series is tied 2-2 with these two teams this year, and the 76ers are 2-1 without Joel versus Miami. So the numbers kind of makes you think about it a little bit. And Joel, since he's been back this month, has averaged 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists. So Joel's looking good. The 76ers looking good, but I gotta go with the Heat just because it's that time of year. We all know playoff Jimmy is coming. We all know Eric Spoelstra is the head coach, which means he is making the calls throughout the whole entire game. He is the puppet master, and I gotta go with the Heat just because of recent success, recent memory, and it will repeat itself this year because I don't only have the Heat going to winning tomorrow. I don't have them just win the first round. I don't have them just win the second round. I'm gonna leave y'all like that, just so y'all can just a little cliffhanger on how far I think the Heat gonna go this year. All right, but that should be a really good game. Next we got the Hawks and the Bulls. I don't think nobody listening to this podcast right now really cares about the Hawks or the Bulls right now, right? But I'm gonna go with the Bulls. All right, the Bulls won this season series 2-1. They beat the Hawks 2-1. But I just don't like teams that don't play defense. Like to me, I just can't. You're not convincing me that you are a playoff team because in the playoffs you're gonna have to make stops. It's gonna happen, right? Like you're not going against the Detroit Pistons where you can just outscore them. You're not going against the Spurs where you can just outscore them. You're not going against the Utah Jazz, the Rockets. No, all those teams are gone. Every single team in the playoffs is capable of putting up points. Every team. Maybe the Knicks is the only team that you think about. They can't really score like that outside of Jalen Brunson. But the Hawks don't play defense. They're bottom four in defensive rating this year. They're bottom five in opponents' points in the paint. So points allowed in the paint, they're bottom five. They're bottom three in points allowed per game, right? But they're top five in points per game. Like they believe that we're just going to outscore you. But DeMar DeRozan has been hot. All right, he has 30 plus points in 6 of the last 8 games. He's starting to turn it up as well, and I do think that he's going to have a field day against the Hawks just because they don't play defense. Trey Young is back, but I could really care less. I'm taking the Bulls in this game. All right. So once again, just to kind of recap my picks for this tournament, for the play-in tournament, I have ideally I have the Lakers winning against the Pelicans, the Warriors winning against the Kings, then the Lakers, then the Warriors beating the Pelicans. Sorry, so it will be the Lakers versus the Nuggets and the Warriors versus the Thunder. All right, on the other side, I have the Heat versus the 76ers. I have the Heat winning that game, and then the 76ers are going to beat the Bulls. So the Bulls going to beat the Hawks. 76ers beat the Bulls, so we're going to have the Heat versus the Knicks, and then the Bulls versus the Boston Celtics. All right, ideally. But I really think that Darvin Ham and LeBron should think about it. Go ahead and tank this game. Let this game go. Lose to the Pelicans so you won't have to play Denver. And then we're going to have a great game between LeBron and Curry. Who's going to get that last spot in the playoffs, all right? But that is it for the NBA, all right? Next, we're going to go ahead and talk about where did it go? It's cool. We're going to thug it out. I want to talk about Caitlyn Clark real quick. I don't have for some reason, I don't have my Caitlyn Clark little banner that's on the bottom of the screen. I don't have it, but I do want to talk about her real quick. All right, Caitlyn Clark, man, look, Caitlyn to me, I remember after she lost the championship to South Carolina, I even said it on my last episode of the Straight to the Point podcast. I said, because I made an episode before the championship, that when Caitlyn Clark loses, because she's going to lose to South Carolina, I said that the media gonna tear her up. She didn't win a championship. She can't be that great. She never won a championship. This, that, and another. I can 100% disagree. When have we ever, in the history of sports, judged a college player based on championships? Never. We have never said that if you can't win a championship in college, then I can't put you up. I can't put you at a certain level because you didn't win a championship in college. Who cares? These are college kids. All right. This is what we use the championship measurement. We use that championship grading scale. We use that for the NFL, for the NBA. Right. That's what separates players from others. Right. How many championships do you have? How many MVPs do you have? How many? That's what we do in those categories. Right. NBA, NFL. We don't do that in college. We never have. I saw somebody come on TV and say, well, since I grade the NBA players by championships, I got to grade college players by championships. The question was, is Caitlyn Clark the GOAT of women's college basketball? Well, when I judge NBA players and NFL players, I go by rings and accomplishments. Caitlyn don't have any rings. No, that is ridiculous. We have never ever talked about a college player. How many rings do they have? How many times they get to the championship? We never talked about that ever. Never have. So why are we starting it now? All right, Caitlyn Clark is the greatest women's college basketball player ever. Ever. It's not even close. And you know one thing about that accomplishment thing? We judge based off rings because we really can't judge based off talent. Think about your top five in the NBA. Think about it. Right? You got LeBron, MJ, Kobe, maybe even Magic, right? And Kareem, maybe whoever is in your top five. You can't really say LeBron's better than MJ skill wise. You can't really say MJ's better than LeBron skill wise. You can't say MJ better than Kobe skill wise. They're all up here, like the max. They're all at 100. They all maxed out skill wise. So now we got to judge them based off of rings. What were you able to do with that skill? Right? That's why we talk about rings when it comes to basketball. In the NFL, we talk about Tom Brady. He's the GOAT because he has 7 rings. Like that's uncommon. Nobody has ever done that before. But when you look at talent wise for the rest of the quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers they maxed out talent wise. Nobody can look at me in the face and say that Patrick Mahomes is better than Aaron Rodgers talent wise because A Rod is the original Patrick Mahomes. But what did Patrick Mahomes do with his talent? He already has 2 rings, right? So that's why you gotta look at it as I'm sorry, he already has 3 rings. My bad. He has 3 rings. So you have to look at it as okay, he won 3 rings, A-Rod won one. So I gotta put Mahomes over A-Rod. If we were talking strictly talent, you can't put one over the other. So what I'm saying is we use the ring debate and the accomplishment debate because sometimes the talent level is just too close to where we can't judge. With Caitlyn Clark, there is nobody that's close to her when it comes to talent. Nobody is close at all. I haven't seen a women's basketball player, WNBA or college, play the way that Caitlyn Clark plays. Have not seen it. Name a player. Name any player in women's college basketball history. They were not getting buckets like Caitlyn Clark. It's such a big gap when it comes to the talent that the rings don't even matter to me. Caitlyn Clark averaged 32, 7, and 9. Pull up any college basketball player that put up 32, 7, and 9. Men or women's. And please show me, DM me, put it in the comments because nobody has done it. All right. She set the D1 record for most points. D1 record as in boys and girls for most points in a career. I just want to compare her numbers to the top 3 players in the men's college basketball and in the NBA. Sorry, and then I'm done with it. Zach Edey led all men in points per game in college basketball this year. Guess how many he averaged? 25. That was the most. The most by any college basketball player in men's was 25. All right. Secondly, was Tommy Bruner for Denver. All right, University of Denver, 24 points. Second most. Third most is Terrence Shannon Jr. for Illinois, 23 points. Caitlyn averaged 32. The next best in women's college basketball was Juju, and Juju Watkins had 27 points per game. She's the only player in college basketball this year that averaged 30 points. That's it. Just Caitlyn by herself. Then we compare us to the NBA, and I already know people will say, oh, she's playing girls. Oh my God, the NBA players are playing other NBA players. Really? That's what we're going to sit here and do? Because she's the only girl that's doing this. There's no other girl doing it. So clearly she's just that much better than the rest of the girls. It's like it's a big gap between her and everyone else for her to put up 30 points per game. Because when you look in the NBA, Luka is putting up 34, 9, and 10. 34, 9, and 10. 32, 7, and 9 is not that far off from 34, 9, and 10. She's putting up NBA MVP candidate numbers. That's what she's putting up. All right. And then you look at Giannis. Giannis averaged 30 points this year. Caitlyn averaged 32. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who everybody thinks is going to be the MVP, averaged 36 and 6. Caitlyn Clark averaged 32, 7, and 9. There's no other girl in history that put up these numbers. I'll wait. Put it in the comments. Let me know because I have not seen any other girl play the way that she does. Pull it up from half court, being able to dish the ball around the way that she does. She passed the ball like Luka. It's like Luka, dressed up as a woman almost to a certain degree. All right, so I do believe Caitlyn Clark is the GOAT. Once again, she went number 1 today to the Indiana Fever, man, and I think that she is going to only get better. That it's like y'all think she hit her peak in college? No, she's only going to get better. And Diana Taurasi, remember she said that it's going to be a humbling experience for some of these girls. No, it's not. You cannot hold Caitlyn Clark. I put every dollar I got on Caitlyn Clark if y'all went 1-on-1 in WNBA game. If she called you out Y'all went one-on-one, she'll give you a bucket. You might be on the floor. That's how bad it's gonna be. All right, but man, put some respect on Caitlyn Clark's name. Even though she did not win a championship this year, we still have to just appreciate what she did for women's college basketball in general, all the attention she brought to it, all the tickets she sold this year, the records she broke. She had one of the greatest college careers, both men's or women's, in the history of sports. All right. But that is it for today, man. Make sure y'all tune in to the play-in tournament tomorrow and Wednesday. I will do an episode on Thursday to recap the play-in. Well, actually, play-in won't be over because the next game will be the game for the 8th seed. All right. So I'm gonna figure out when my next episode will come out, but it will come out before the actual playoffs start. All right. And I will give my playoff preview, and I might even do a little collab, all right, with some friends of mine. So stay tuned for that, but that'll be coming on later this week. But I'm for sure doing an episode after the play-in tournament going into the playoffs. All right. But that's it for today, man. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay safe. Enjoy the NBA playoffs because they're gonna be gone just like that. I promise you. There's 10 teams in the bracket right now. By the end of this week, it's gonna be 16. Well, I'm sorry. There's 20 teams, 10 on each side. By the end of this week, it's gonna be 16. 8 on each side. Next thing you know, we're gonna be down to what? 8. Then we're gonna be down to 4. Then we're gonna be down to 2, and then no more sports. It's gonna be summertime. All right. So make sure y'all enjoy it, man. It's your boy J Best. I'm out.